Welcome back to the Random Shit Talk podcast. I am Myric,
And I'm Eric.
and this is the Random Shit Talk podcast, the first episode of 2024.
And the first episode of my actual studio, which is kind of fancy. So, you want me to kick this off, or do you want to kick it off?
We'll let you kick it off. I'll get into the lighthearted stuff.
All right. So, I want to kick it off by talking about this thing that you and Carl and Josh, who I don't know who Josh is, a friend of yours, started, where it's like the 75 days where you have 5 goals, I think is what it is, per day that you have to meet. Am I right?
No.
And okay, you explain it then.
All right. So to start off, what it is 75 hard. And so this all came from the day that you had called me and asked me to call Carl. And so we'd already been talking about the doing a workout, or we wished that we had done a workout where we could hold each other accountable or whatever. Well, whenever I was talking to him, he was talking about going to the gym and stuff, but he doesn't find it like very easy to go every day. And I was like, well, there's a 75 hard that I was wanting to do, but whenever I tried it, it's very hard to do the exact goals that they have in 75 hard, because if it's not tailored toward you, it's not going to work for you. Like for him, living in Wisconsin, they want you to do.
Can you say that word one more time for me? Because I don't believe there's an E in it, but can you say it for me one more time?
Wisconsin.
It's an I, just so we're clear. But go ahead.
Wisconsin. So,
there you
go. For him, he's not going to be able to do the 45-minute workout outside and a 45-minute workout in the gym every day. And so when we were talking about it, me and Josh were working out later on, and he brought it up because his brother was doing it. And I was like, that works all well and dandy for, like, his brother was having issues with certain parts of it that it didn't fit his workout routine and what he was trying to do. And I said, well, I was like, that's the same issue that we were having when we were talking about it. I was like, but I think for me, if I was going to do it, we would just make our own 5 rules for ourselves. As far as the good thing for Carl was the non-drinking part in it. Like,
gotcha. And probably the camaraderie too.
Yeah. And so I was like, so what we'll do is we'll come up with 5 of our own rules. And that's what we'll do for our own self. Like, you come up with your own 5 per person, like your own 5 rules, different from everybody else's. And then you do those for 75 days.
Okay. So maybe this won't be as a bummer as I thought it was, because this is where it's going to get real, not sad, but kind of depressing for a second. I have zero interest of doing a goal that's workout related, not because I don't need to get in shape. I completely understand I need to get in shape.
Yeah.
I don't care enough about it at this point in my life right now, because you know this, you and I don't know Josh, but you and I have a plethora of children and we have to go and do shit. And the little amount of free time I do have to myself, the gym doesn't interest me in that free time. It has zero grabbing me right now. So that's why when you guys were all talking about working out and taking your shirtless pictures, which I love, by the way, I'm like, I have no interest of doing this.
Okay.
So that's what I'm kind of like.
That's what I was saying, like, when I made the group, like, it's separate from our regular group. This is just the workout group, or just the 75 hard challenge group. And so the whole point of it was, because now James is wanting to hop in. So I was thinking about adding him, but he's going to have 5 different goals. But the perfect thing for him is the same thing, the alcohol thing. He's got to get that under control before he gets on the show.
Fair.
And and he's been working out. But for us, I was like, well, our workout's pretty strenuous. That word? So there's no way we could do that workout and work out every day. So the 5 days a week that we're working out, as long as we stick to that routine, plus, like, for me, I added 75 push-ups, 75 sit-ups away from the workout. And that's pretty hard. But the thing that I just added and subtracted something else was the biting my nails.
Okay.
I'm constantly biting my nails. So that one was one added. I don't think for for you, like the workout thing, if you don't want to do anything that's
it's not that I don't want to. I
at all,
know I won't. I know that I won't stick to it. Like I know going into it, there's nothing going to keep me accountable on it.
but I think there is.
I don't have
And
that same. I don't have that same thing that you guys have, where you're like, and now that somebody else is doing it, I'm gonna be like, I don't have that. I never have.
No. Now I'm talking about like you could make it something as simple as 10 push-ups a day.
If we're going that simple, yeah. If we're gonna do it that fucking simple, I'll do 10 squares a day. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying is like if you're accounting, this is just for yourself. But the thing is, like, the whole point was to help.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah. Because if we do, let's just all be sober, I'll win every time because I could care less about drinking.
Yeah, and that's why I said it's not going to work for everybody because you'd have to have your own goals. And
I guess so the one goal I could come up with was what I told you, where I could do like a short every other day. I feel like that's a goal that's good for both of us, really.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like that would just be one of your goals, and you wouldn't have to do it every day, but just being consistent in, hey, I
thought because it's 75 days, you had to do it every single day.
No, because it's our rules. You're making your own 5 rules for yourself, and that's where I was like, but we thought it was funny Josh loved the whole gay thing. So
absolutely.
Because he was like, because for the progress picture for me and him is for the simple fact that we don't really ever take pictures of ourselves and post them. Mm-hmm. So we're like, we're really not posting it. You're posting it in the group. But the only thing is, does this 75 days? Yeah, does the 75 days actually work? Like, am I going to see a difference between day 1 and day 75? And that's why I was like, it's kind of hard to even take a picture. Just for the simple fact that, like, I don't see how you're getting a good picture if you're holding a camera up in front of you. How are you going to be able to tell the difference? One, it's making you flex one side of your body. Because regardless of I'm not even flexing, but when you hold the camera up, this side of your body is more defined than this side of your body.
Because you're activated.
You're in your own way. And I was like, yeah. So I was like, we'll do it just to see the difference. I think for me, seeing the difference is like, it's going to be the weight for me. And I think that's the same thing for Josh and
just the other way.
Carl. They're both wanting to lose weight. Yeah,
correct.
Just the other way.
It'd be the same thing for me. I'd be wanting to lose weight.
Yeah, and I mean, for him,
I want my goal to be something related to making money. Like I know that sounds cliche, but I'm at the point in my life where I've realized being wealthier is more important than being in shape.
I would say yes and no, just because of what's taken place here recently around me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just like seeing the other people who have, I don't know, they're not in the best of health and have been in the hospital and everything else. And I'm just like, and then the other person so if we go back to my brother David, whenever the whole COVID thing happened, got that, lost a ton of weight, and now he's doing this eat, live, hunt thing. And they have a podcast and all this stuff. And just seeing how much healthier he's been and how the money has came along with it. So now you went from, hey, I've got to get healthy for my kids, to you're profiting off this because now other people are like, hey, I want in on this. And so they're taking trips and going on a hunt every year and making money off of it. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
So I was like, it pays to have some type of
I guess my problem right now is I don't have any real goals. It's a little sad, but it's the truth. I don't have, like, my goal right now is just to be a dad. I don't have enough of me time to really worry about anything else.
But what about the making money thing?
The problem I'm running into is that I can't figure, I find myself I think to be a very intelligent person, but every time I'm looking into something or other, everything seems to have a catch that I can't understand. Like I can't get my head, like whether it be YouTube, whether it be drop shipping, whether it be e-commerce stuff. It all seems to have a catch that I can't understand how people who I feel are stupider than me. Maybe they're not, but I'm like, how are they getting around this catch or that catch to make this work? Maybe it's something you have to get in way earlier and I just missed the boat on it. I don't know, but I'm just like, what the fuck am I missing?
I think for like with the YouTube thing to monetize off of it, I think it's so hard. You just have to have that one viral moment to make people go back and be like, hey, I got to watch what else they've put out. So then that way it adds more.
I'm such a loser. I was studying the algorithm, trying to figure out how the algorithm, and I can't figure it out. Like, I don't understand what pops and what doesn't, what gets people's attention and what doesn't. Other than thoughts.
I don't know.
Thoughts absolutely get everyone's attention.
Yeah. But what do you look up when you are...
Golf.
Okay. So, and I think that's the same thing. Like, it's sad for whenever I think about how many people look at golf. So who do you look at whenever you do golf?
Bob.
So the same
Yeah,
person.
It's always Bob.
So if you don't, if you're not, I guess for me, I look for not just entertainment value, but I'm looking for a characteristic in whoever it is that's putting it on. Because like if I look at somebody's, for instance, Zach, if I look at his YouTube channel and watch him, and like if I get bored with it real quick, I don't look him up anymore. Like I might have already subscribed, but I'm not looking for his content.
I get what you're saying. I have a couple of those too where I've kind of lost interest and went off. Yeah, I get what you're talking about.
And so I just think it's kind of hard to grab somebody's.
I also don't have the drive to become like these people that are buying. Like my wife was explaining to me, you can buy subscribers on YouTube or Instagram and all, and like what the fuck, like that. That's such a different world to me. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
So if you put it into our age group range of things, so you're buying into your product.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
So I mean,
I just don't know how that helps you grow. That's the part that doesn't make sense to me. She was trying to explain to me that if you go to a higher level, well, then your things get seen more and all that. And I'm just like, what?
So let's say that you buy 10,000 followers. That automatically puts you in monetization with YouTube. So now you're being monetized. Okay. So as long as you get 10,000 views, which also throws you in their algorithm. Oh, well, he's got 10,000 viewers. Let's push his video a little bit. We'll pop it up for you on different things. Whereas with us having 20 followers or 30 followers, they're not going to push our videos.
That's why I was such a shock when that short went big.
Yeah. It's just going to take something like that.
Popping. And that's why I think that goal of mine to do shorts every other day might be something worth doing.
Which would be a goal to make money.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, you have, like, I think it's more personal goals for me. Like,
I just don't know. This is probably the downer part. I just don't have anything that I really give a shit about right now. Like, I don't care about getting in shape. I don't give a shit about bathing suit season. I don't, like, besides, honestly, going to work, taking care of my kids, and getting laid. That's about it.
Okay, so what about the golf thing?
I mean, I go to the simulator once a month right now because that's about the only amount of time I have.
What can you do at home?
Honestly, right now with my house being remodeled as much as it is, not a whole lot. Maybe putter, that's about it.
No chipping?
No, I ain't got room for it right now.
Because I have the little softballs.
Yeah, I want to get those. I got to get those. Will they stick?
I'll chip.
Will they stick to the mat?
Not even the stick ones, just
the foam balls?
Soft foam ones.
Oh, okay.
And I'll practice just getting my hands behind the club.
Okay.
And just launching it from the kitchen to the living room.
I guess that's probably part of my problem is I don't have any teachers right now. Yeah. I'm someone that likes to be taught. I like to learn, but I have to have a teacher. Yeah. I'm not good at self-learning.
Yeah.
I'm probably a little bit loser like that. Whatever.
More hands-on. I think for me, I just like to learn more just from feel, like, because you can tell me how it's supposed to be done, but if it doesn't feel good to me, I'm not going to do it.
That's fair.
So
that's totally fair.
I can get the concept of what you're trying to say and try to implement that in my own way of doing it, but
I'll work on it. I'll try to think of 5 goals and have you guys have them to you tomorrow morning, so that way I can start tomorrow and like actually 5 goals that actually matter, that I actually give a shit about.
Yeah.
Because my weight goes from, I mean, I drop and gain about 30 pounds every single year. Like I drop 30 pounds and I gain it back throughout the year. I drop 30 pounds because I just, honest to God, it goes back to wrestling days where I can drop weight, no problem. Now it's not the healthiest way, but I just stopped getting hungry. Yeah. So that's where I'm like, whatever.
So like for Carl, getting him
stop drinking,
stick to it.
Yeah.
Like I think he's stuck to it more than, because he's constantly posting.
Yeah, he is.
Like I'll see his first.
He got nervous about the gay stuff though. Because he messaged me separately. He goes, because I in the message thing I said, if we're gonna go gay, everybody knows I'm gonna win. He messaged me separately. He goes, do not send us a dick pic.
Which, I mean, I think for all of us, like for Josh, me and Josh grew up together, so we played sports together, done all that stuff. So it's always been the weight room. We just got done talking about the whole Hell Camp thing on Netflix.
I don't know what that is.
And it's a documentary about this guy named Steve Cardasano, who used to be our coach in football. And me and David, his son, were best friends. And then I dated his daughter, Katie. And then it was all over Netflix. And so I was just getting messages left and right from different people like, oh, have you checked this out? And I was like, no.
Is it about he's a good coach or a bad coach or an asshole or what?
Oh, no. There was so much stuff going on. Because like David, our freshman year, had went to a camp for troubled kids in Samoa. And that's all we knew. He came back, he had a tattoo on his arm. And we were like, oh, okay, whatever. Well, there was more to the story. Now, like everything came out, we're like, holy shit, there's a lot that went on. Like why they were even in Tishomingo, Oklahoma, coming from Utah. Or it's pretty interesting
I'll
video.
Watch.
And so, yep, it's pretty interesting. I'll send you the trailer for it.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it. I have yet to watch a goddamn movie.
Which one?
The one that you keep asking me to watch, the fucking Julia Roberts one.
Yeah, that's kind of I kind of forgot about it.
Good, because all the Reddit threads about it are fucking retarded. Like, supposedly, if you watch it, some bots in the vaccine come alive and activate all this shit that's wrong, like, that's going to start making your body wrong.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm like, come on.
We're in a horrible spot, like, in today's society where, I don't know.
There's a level of stupidity going on right now that we've never seen before. Now, granted, there's also a level of, fraud and, collusion and all that shit going on too that we've never seen before probably. But the other side of the pendulum is also stupidity and conspiracy theories and all that shit.
Yeah. Like, so what do you think about the
if you're gonna say the list, I'm gonna start laughing.
Nope. What list?
That's my point. No list has come out. This has all been hearsay. None of it's real.
Oh, you're talking about the
Epstein.
The Epstein
list. None of it's real yet. None of it's been actually 100% confirmed. It's all hearsay from court documents, from a supposed witness or supposed victim, and we don't have any proof. I mean, some of those names that they've named, I believe. Like, I believe that Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton have been to that island. 100% agree with that. Stephen Hawking, who's been in a fucking wheelchair for 30 years before he died, what's he gonna do? He's gonna watch 2 girls? What?
Okay, so I'm glad you brought this up. This is very interesting.
What's he gonna do?
So, when you're rich and powerful, you're able to do whatever you want.
100% agree. But does anything work on the man?
Nothing has to work. you can be a sadistic fuck
Yeah.
who doesn't touch anything.
I guess.
And could just be like, I want to see you stick this in her.
Real Joffrey style is what you're talking about.
Yeah. Like, he could have been that way. But here's the thing. I think more took place on that island than just.
Oh, for sure.
Like, I think. Business deals and everything else happened.
Blackmail,
so I think that
dangerous game stuff. 100%.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about actual, legitimate stand-up things. So let's say you had a ball, you own an island, and you invite a bunch of celebrities
100%.
out, and they come to this island
for whatever reason, whether it be to blackmail them or just have a good time.
Yeah, just like donors. To get donors for different things. That doesn't mean that those people that
correct. I think there's going to be two sides there. I think there's going to be nasty, dirty fucks, and then people that just went there. I think you'll know the difference by the frequency and how many times they went there.
How often they went. Yeah.
Like when that supposed list came out, even though it's not even verified or anything, and I saw Eminem's name on it, I'm like, come on. Like I understand I'm a fan, so maybe I'm biased, but you're talking about a guy who took on 3 kids that weren't his, plus his own, got clean. You're going to tell me he's going to an island to fuck kids or whatever?
Okay.
Come on.
Okay, so here was the thing about the list, the non-list that came out. With today's society, like literally, you could have taken that whole court document, copied it, put it in ChatGPT, and said, make me a list of everybody who went to Epstein's island and add these people.
Correct.
And it would have done it.
100%.
And that's where I was like,
we're never going to know who was really on that island. And that's the reason why they killed him. Because we'll never be able to verify it. It'll all be hearsay. It'll all be pointing fingers. Like, look at Jimmy Kimmel and Aaron Rodgers right now.
Yeah.
Aaron's over here, inferring it, but Jimmy's over here like, I didn't do it. My best friend was there, but I wasn't there.
So that brings me back to the Roger Stone thing.
What the fuck is Roger Stone?
He's the guy who, I guess it was him and a New York officer who were talking about having 2 either representatives or senators off. And then he was like, I didn't say that. That's AI. I never said that. That's not me. That's AI. And like, you've been pardoned twice. Twice. Not once, but twice. Explain to me how you get pardoned for crimes. And
I did not hear about this.
In today's society, I'm just like, yo, what?
I mean, blackmail is a beautiful thing. Like, let's be real. You can get a long way with blackmail.
But I'm just like, it's horrible. Like, where we are today is...
Oh, my God. We're in such a bad spot. I almost feel like we need like a real war to pop off in order for this to all come back to reality. There's nothing else that's going to happen. Nothing else that would be large enough to bring everybody kind of down a peg.
I do think so.
Really?
There is something large enough that
if you say aliens, I'm going to fucking come through the screen.
No, without even talking about something like
ridiculous
out there, crazy out there. Natural disaster, but it has to be a world-changing natural disaster.
But the problem with a natural disaster that we have right now is we can't prove whether or not it was natural or created by man. Like, think of Hawaii for a second. Think of the... you get what I'm saying?
But here's the thing. We're always going to do that. We're always going to be like,
We've never done that before, though. We've never done that before. I know.
But that's the conspiracy theorists and everybody now. So we question everything.
It would have to be like a fucking volcano.
No matter what it is.
It would literally have to be a volcano.
No,
like Yellowstone popping off.
Yeah, something like, well, no, they would say conspiracy. They're trying to wipe out whatever.
Can you make a volcano just go? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Is it really?
That's very possible.
I didn't know that they could be controlled. I thought that was the whole point of them, is you can't control them.
So what would you need for it to happen?
You'd have to drop a bomb in it, wouldn't you?
Would you have to drop a bomb?
What would you... I don't know I don't know the science. I don't know how you would make it pop.
Pressure. So it's like a pimple. What do you do? What do you use to get the pimple to pop sometimes?
Yeah, I use a little metal stick thingy.
Like a stick needle type
Yeah.
thing. So if you dropped a tungsten steel rod from space and it goes down off into the earth, no boom, no nothing, but enough pressure, it pops.
That'd
And it
be the
goes
best
off.
shot I've ever seen.
No. That's so easy. Like we've talked about using they're called the rods of God, or Thor's
yeah.
lightning rods or whatever. We're not allowed to, according to the contracts that we've signed with other countries, treaties. Hey, no space weapons, whatever, because that's one of them that we could use. There's 3 major volcanoes: one in Russia, one in China, one in the United States, and one in Africa. So there's more than that. You drop one, and you don't have to be precise.
So what natural disaster would not spark conspiracy theories?
I don't know. See, that's the thing. It's gonna constantly be conspiracy.
That's why I don't know if that would bring us together.
It would. I think it would have to, the impact of it. So let's say
it would have to. So you would have to have something that severely lowers our population.
So like an asteroid.
Yeah. You would need something that takes out half of our country, preferably the West Coast, but half of our country.
I'm saying like it would have to take out. It would have to impact the world.
Yeah,
on that
on a global scale. Yeah,
for people to be like.
But an asteroid that big would basically be a world ender. I mean, we're talking about Armageddon here.
Not really.
Yeah, because it would kill bacteria, which would then eventually kill the people that are left.
I don't think it would kill bacteria.
Oof. I mean, I'm not a science guy, but I mean, I'm not Bill Nye over here, but I don't know. I don't know if you get to a. I mean,
see, I don't believe. I don't believe scientists. Though.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because
we've learned that. I mean,
they always.
Yeah, we've learned that.
They've always said, "Oh, this and this and this is how it works," and then when it doesn't, whenever you figure out another way, they're like, "Well, it's just a theory."
That's fair.
We weren't being. So anytime you can always go back to being like, "It's just a theory," whenever you're proved wrong. So, sorry. I could come up with a bunch of theories, but that doesn't mean that.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what brings us back around. I mean, the only other thing that I could think of that would really bring things back to a hold would be an EMP or a solar flare. But it couldn't just be America. It'd have to be the world. Yeah. If something were to happen to knock out all internet and all power, I think that would make people be... a lot of people would die. I mean, let's be real. A lot of people would die. But
could you knock it out?
Solar flare would knock out some of it, but not all of it. On top of that, the scariest part is, I mean, you have nukes that are set up for that. If they don't tick, they go. So that would be the other part of that. I mean,
I think we have solar flares all the time.
Yeah, it's not large enough. So here's a really crazy thought. So we talk about how shitty our world is right now, and especially America, that we're not in a good spot. And you have all these people online like Joe Rogan and Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens, all these people. That's just the right side. I don't know any of the lefties. There's lefties all in there too. Yeah. That have enough money and enough power to actually produce change, but don't. So would you agree it's all just a money grab? That all the shit that they talk about how we need to do this, we need to do that, but nobody ever takes the reins and does anything. It's just for them to get clicks, to get money.
Yeah. Okay. But that's always
been I mean,
and the reason why is...
That's why, I mean, I used to be a huge Joe Rogan fan, but then I started realizing he's just a fucking money whore. That's all he is. He's nothing more than that.
Because if you think about it, if you actually change... Let's say every problem was solved today.
We have the money to do that. That's what's crazy.
Okay. But what I'm saying is, like, if every problem was solved today, then what would his videos be about?
100%.
Their videos be?
100% agree with you. There would be no outcry. There would be no division. What they've learned is that they can monetize division.
It's kind of like with diseases today. If you have cancer,
there's true cures in other countries for cancer, like actual cures.
What's more profitable?
But it's not profitable. Correct.
Yeah. If you're spending tons of money on insurance and treatments, but all you had to pay was $10 to get the cure.
I just wish we as Americans, I will say, is the worst about this. I wish we as Americans were smart enough to realize that these people that we watch and we listen to are just money whores. They don't really care. They don't really want to evoke change. They don't want to make things better. They just want to grab a dollar.
Okay, so my question is, who wouldn't be, though?
Ronald Reagan. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. Someone who, that's the thing. Someone who, this is what I get upset about, and this is what makes me inside go mad. I'm a very basic bitch. I don't need a lot. So I feel like when you have a normal person who have ethics gets enough money that they don't need any more, maybe then they start actually producing change. You would think.
I don't think.
You would think.
You would think.
But the greed always comes back. And I don't understand that, maybe because I've never been at that level. But I would think us poories, like yourself and mine, would be greedier than the rich fucks. You would think. But that's not normally how it goes. Normally the rich fuckers are greedier than the poorers.
I don't think so.
You don't think richer are greedier?
Because you could take the most poor person. We've seen it over and over with just lotteries and other things. You can take somebody super poor, and they're willing to give you the shirt off their back and everything else. And then you make them rich, and watch how they change.
So why do you think that is? Why do you think that there's not a number that's enough where you actually start helping others? Like truly helping, not publicity helping. Like why isn't it enough money for Bezos and Elon and all of those guys who have more money than they'll ever spend in their lifetime to actually invoke real change? What do you think causes that?
Greed.
But the craziest part is that I would think greed comes from competition, and they're the two. There's no competition for the two of them. They're it.
There is.
I mean, Saudis don't count. We're never going to catch Saudis.
No. Saudis don't have any money, though.
They don't have any real tangible money.
No, that's the thing. They don't have any money.
They have money if you count oil.
Not really. You don't even need oil. It's like not on that scale.
That's fair.
Don't need it. But my thing is, it has nothing to do with you. You say there's no competition for them, but look at how they've got rich. I don't think they got rich overnight.
No.
I think it took a long time for them to get rich.
Both examples show you that it took hard work.
I don't think so. No.
Which example? You don't think it took a lot for I think it took more for Bezos to get rich than it did Elon.
I don't think so.
Really?
I think he made it look that way.
Amazon's didn't just happen overnight. It took years.
He had money before Amazon.
Not Amazon money. Elon had money before Tesla and all the other shit too.
He had old money.
Did he?
Yeah, both of them did. Now they'll pitch you the story that with my hard work I got.
I didn't know. I knew Tesla. I knew Elon had money before he got money, but I didn't know Bezos did. I thought Bezos was poor.
Elon's family owned it.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah. Same thing with Mark Cuban. I knew there's guys out there that try to pitch this poor story that no.
Yeah.
But I honestly thought Bezos was self-made.
No, I don't think he had. He didn't have a ton of money, but he wasn't started from the bottom.
Gotcha.
He was. I already got money, but I'm gonna use this money I have, and I can risk it. If I lose $250,000,
gotcha.
So be it. If I lose $500,000, so be it. But I think it doesn't really matter. I think just from his example, though, I think he looks at it as I took risks and made what I have
and
now.
Took a risk and lost half of it. Fucking moron.
Yeah.
But
he still has more than what he had. So I think their competition is. So the dude over there who's sitting on,
I guess,
$300,000 right now, who's got a pretty good idea, is about to make some money. So what do you think about the Bailey guy?
Who's Bailey?
In Atlanta. I got to think of what his first name is. But he invented they call it the Tesla killer. You can Google the Tesla killer. And
what does it do?
Who he is. So he's figured out a way to convert any vehicle to an electric vehicle.
Whoa.
Not only can he convert any vehicle to an electric vehicle.
He's not dead.
He's like, that's what we said. But not only can he do that, but he's like, why wouldn't you make it to where the solar panels would charge it? Not only would the solar panels charge it, but the more you
brake
drive
pads,
it,
just like a Prius used to. The brake pads.
the more it stores energy for you. So you wouldn't need to charge it all the time.
But here's the craziest part. The brake pad thing had been out for 50 years. That's been around. Well, that technology.
His wasn't the brake. His wasn't the brake pad. His was just talking about the more you drive it, the actual rotation.
You steal some of those RPMs, they'll go back into the. Got it.
You're storing.
I got you. Kinetic energy. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. He's gonna be dead with them.
Yeah. Well, look at the guy that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's probably the number one video that pops up on my Instagram feed or our Instagram feed is the guy that when I think it was the 80s or the 90s, and then in that water car, and like 2 weeks later he was dead.
But that's the same thing you're looking at. What you said. How come Elon Musk wouldn't
start helping?
Start helping because of a guy like that who came up with an idea. Oh, wait a second, my funding is going to be cut down.
God forbid, like 40 billion will go down to 10 billion. Jesus Christ. Yeah. I guess maybe I would change if I made that kind of money. Maybe I would, but I just don't. There's enough. And this is where I can't believe I'm saying this because I am a fucking bread man. That if I got to a certain number, I think I'd be like, I don't need anymore. Like whatever. I also wouldn't want to keep working. Like, maybe that's lazy in me, but I'd be like, all right, I'm fucking done working. I just want to play golf, have a hot-ass wife, maybe a couple mistresses on the side, and that's it.
But that's where it falls into that whole picture of...
That's probably why I'll never be rich. Yeah, that's probably exactly why I'll never be rich.
Yeah. But if you think about just like a normal politician... Just like somebody who starts off running local politician.
They always keep going.
As they get higher and higher and higher. But I don't think it's just them. Like, I don't think they get greedy. I think they get there and they like the power to being able to, and they don't want to give that.
So which one do you think is more addictive, the greed or the power?
I think the power is what's
that makes more sense. The power that comes with the money, too. That makes way more sense.
So I don't really think it has to do with the money.
Do you think it's the notoriety too, that you don't want your name to disappear, like Achilles? Like you don't want your name to be forgotten, because so if you stop, because there's billionaires that you and I have never heard of, because they don't care about the notoriety. Yeah. Which I respect that a hell of a lot more than the ones that want to be in the front page news.
Well, see, but that's the thing. I think that we would be more of those billionaires that would just like I would like to just, for me, my thing would be, I just want to be able to do whatever I want, whenever I want, without having to worry about, dang, what am I going to have to sacrifice to take this trip? Yeah. No,
I mean, I completely agree with you. And it just makes life easier. Money, I mean, I understand that everyone says money can't buy happiness. And maybe it can't, but it can make life a hell of a lot easier. Where you don't have to think as much, you don't have to work as hard, you don't have to sacrifice. Basically can have anything at your fingertips. Now you can piss it all away or piss half of it away if you fucking can't keep it in your pants like a moron. I never understood those guys. I never will. That I'll never understand. I will.
But I think that's just
never understand that.
That depends on who they pick as their partner.
But keeping it in your pants is, I mean, I understand everyone says, well, if she's not giving it up for years, you're going to go somewhere else. But you can also, here's the craziest fucking part. You can divorce her too.
But here's the craziest part. You never had to marry her.
Preach.
Here's the craziest part.
Preach.
If you think about Tyreek Hill. I'm just saying Tyreek Hill. Or even be in a relationship. Tyreek Hill has blatantly said this right here. I've got multiple baby mamas and he's got a fiance, but his stipulation to her is, this is what it is. Whenever I'm gone, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. If you don't like it, don't marry.
Correct.
Now, you can agree to all that stuff, and you can sign whatever you want to, and then at the end of the day, she can be like, I want this.
Our boy Elon has done it right. He has contracts with every single one of them that are foolproof.
But that's the thing, they're not.
He's shown that they are. None of them have come back to be able to get anything from him.
Because right now, he's feeding the right people.
That's fair.
Because all it takes is one government official.
How come all these rich guys like Bezos and Elon and all this who have, discrepancies on the side, how come they don't just make them disappear?
Because it's kind of like, as long as you scratch our back, we'll scratch yours.
No, I mean, like, for instance, Bezos' ex-wife. Uh-huh. How is she, like, when you're that rich and powerful, can't you make that problem disappear, if you catch my drift?
I mean, you could try, but then you pissed off the wrong person over here at the Congress.
How do you know?
And all of a sudden, you've been Epstein. Because you've made this person that your ex-wife is just as much of a status symbol as you. Maybe not name-wise, but everybody knows who she is.
I guess.
And that money that you had to give her, who is she donating?
Yeah, that's
to?
fair.
Who is her donors? So you could be like, well, I've still got more, I can have her off. Well, now you've pissed off this dude at the Pentagon, and he's like, hey, we've got some dirt on Bezos. He's been doing this. It's time for him to go to jail.
That's fair.
You've lost everything.
But I've always wondered that, like, rich, powerful men who get taken to the cleaners by their wives, like, I mean, I'm not trying to be an asshole here, but couldn't you just make that problem go away? Because even, like, the lower tables, like the millionaires, because millionaires aren't affecting Congress. They're not affecting it. Millionaires are nothing now. Millionaires are a dime a dozen. They, I think, could get away with it more than a billionaire could.
Yeah.
I'd be like, that problem, I don't know what you're talking about.
Depending on who the problem
Unless
is.
You're a dumb, stupid blonde who tries to take your hitman on vacation with your husband and your kids and do it on vacation. Then you're a fucking moron.
But you got to think about who is the problem. Okay,
what a fucking moron.
So the Tiger situation.
The what?
The Tiger situation.
What's the Tiger situation?
Whenever him and his wife were going through their divorce. Do you think he could have just had her?
No, because she's more powerful than him. She's more well connected than he is.
That's where I'm.
Well, he married up though. Hold on now, Tiger married up. Not all these guys married up.
But she could have had her problem go away.
She could have had her problem go away, but it would probably have been just as hard for her because of how public he is.
Really though?
Now, with all the accidents and the DUIs and the pills, you probably could have made it look good. You probably could have. But that's also the point where she's maybe not a bad person. Maybe she doesn't get...
Yeah, that's...
You know what I mean? Maybe she's not you and I. She's not a bad guy.
Yeah, she's looking at it like we have kids together.
She might not be you and me, where we're like, fuck this, make this problem go away.
Or maybe she is you and me.
And she's just biding her time?
No. Think about this. She is you and me, and on the aspect of this right here, regardless of how much I hate you, I wouldn't do that to my kids. Fair.
That's the other side of you and me, though. But that's the first wife, you and me. The second wife, you and me are like, fuck it. The kids will be fine.
I think the second wife, you and me, is like, I'm out. Like, I get there.
I'm not gonna lie. I've blatantly told my wife if I ever were to somehow become a millionaire, it'd be deuces. I'm like, I'm out. See ya.
If your significant other cheats on you, I'm just in that mindset now of why would I 100%. Care? At this point, I'd be like,
the only thing I don't want to happen is that one chick who was all over social media talking about how she went and cheated, came home, and then he had sex with her. I'm like, I don't want that happening. I don't want to be like, you and I have talked how I could never go after another guy. I don't want to go after another guy.
But that's the issue. Have you already?
Not in the same day, hopefully. Hopefully not in the same day.
But you wouldn't know.
Correct. As long as I don't know, I don't care. Don't let me find out. That's all I care about.
So
it's kind of like the trans thing. It's just like the trans thing. Don't let me know, and I'm fine. Okay, I have a moral question for you.
Okay.
You and I have both agreed that if we had a dime piece, which was the best we've ever had, and then find out afterwards she used to be a guy, but we didn't know the whole time, that we would probably both like, whatever, who cares? Now, back it up. What if she's a dime piece and she tells you beforehand, could you do it?
How much money?
No. Just single Myric. Just single Myric, no money. Just, could you do it if she was a dime piece?
No.
And why not?
Because she said before.
Because your mental thing says it's not the same. Yeah. But is that wrong? Yeah. Is that judgmental?
What do you mean?
Is that homophobic?
That's personal preference.
That's fair. 100% agree with you. I was having this conversation with like, well, isn't that homophobic? I'm like, no, I'm not into that. But
that's personal.
But then what really screws you up is if you don't know, you're good.
Yeah.
Isn't that screwy how just on this side and then not that side, you're okay?
Yeah, but how much money we talking?
I'm not talking money. I'm just talking the experience.
Because that changes things too.
No, it does.
Because you're
saying, true.
Knowing, are you gonna do it? No. Knowing, but we're gonna give you $2 billion. Are you gonna do it? Yes.
I mean, my wife started laughing because there's that stupid clip that was going viral everywhere about asking husbands, if you won $1 million, could you punch me in the face? My wife turns to me and goes, you hit me in the face with a fucking guitar or something for $1 million. I'm like, oh yeah, I'd fuck you up. I'm like, I would fuck you. I'd probably go 1, 2, 3. I wouldn't even just do one. I'd be like, if I hit her more, do I get more money?
So I think that comes to play with, once again, who's your spouse? Because if you
have a chick that could beat your ass, you got a problem.
Well, no. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about your.
Oh, you're saying because my wife would understand? She'd get knocked out, find out she would have $1 million, and be like, all right, we're good.
Yeah. Like, I put money on that.
You're right. My wife, I am very lucky. My wife would be like, just go freeze a couple million, freeze a couple hundred and put it on my eye. We'll be okay.
So, and that's where I'm like, it just depends. Yeah. Like, who's right?
Yeah, my wife would be understanding on the money. She'd like, I don't care.
Because you should have that wife that's like, oh, you didn't do it? I'm going to whoop it.
I'm going to beat your ass. Give me the $1 million. I'll fucking kill him. That's the craziest part. A man would hit a woman for $1 million, but a woman would probably kill a man for $1 million.
Oh, yeah. I think they do it for less.
But that just kind of shows you maybe we're actually the nicer gender.
So I have a question for you.
Hold on, before you go, how many episodes are we doing tonight?
Probably just this one.
Okay.
We've got 2 right now that are.
We do? I thought the one wasn't usable.
Yeah, but we had one before.
Why the hell haven't you been posting then, lazy?
I've been busy at work. You got to remember, we got a guy retired.
That's fair. We're just 2 weeks behind on posting.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. What's your question?
How long have you known about the life insurance stuff?
What do you mean?
The borrowing against your life insurance.
Well, I started doing it 8 years ago. I started selling it 8 years ago, so 8 years.
So how come nobody ever borrows against their life insurance?
Because most people don't have whole life policies. Most people have term life policies. You can't borrow against term life. So term life is is basically like a renter's policy, and a whole life is like a mortgage. You can't do that. Like, for instance, even me, I have a term life policy because how young I am, and I took out $2 million because my wife wouldn't be able to survive if I died. So I can't borrow against that. Whereas if I would have took out a whole life policy, I could borrow against it, use that as a loan, and not count it as income. Here's the craziest thing that I just learned is that you can do the same thing with a home equity line of credit. If you can get approved enough for how much you owe on your mortgage, you can actually take your home equity line, pay off your mortgage with it, and then as you make payments to your home equity line, you still have equity again, and you just keep taking a loan out, and you actually end up paying your mortgage off like in 10 years.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So
that's new.
I didn't know about the I have an interview with the insurance company on Tuesday.
Oh yeah? And you want to do what I do?
And I was like, well, I'm thinking more money, make more money. But I was looking at
this. It's fucking boring work, let me tell you.
I imagine
it is.
It's
so boring, dude. Which company?
But I'm just thinking, Aflac.
Ooh. I wouldn't sell them, but that's you. I don't like Aflac because I can undercut Aflac. So I'm an independent broker, so I can sell anything.
Yeah.
And I undercut all my Aflac reps by 20% and take all their business all the time because Aflac's too expensive. They charge too much for this shit. But that's your call.
But down here, I don't think it's that big of an issue.
Which is surprising because you're poorer than we are up here. No offense. You're per capita, you guys have less money.
Oh, we had to get into that too. I used to think that. I don't think so anymore.
You can't count Texas money.
But that's where we're at.
You can't count Texas money. You're in Oklahoma.
Why can't you?
Because you're in Oklahoma. And all the Texas money stays in Texas.
No, my friend. No, it doesn't.
It's the real money. As someone who wrote those goddamn car policies, the real old money who, let's talk about how I fuck that up.
I'm telling you, dude, the money has trickled into Oklahoma.
Because of the casino?
No. Well, kind of. But no. Okay, so If you
Are they
go
still
to,
sovereign though? Because if it's still sovereign, then it really hasn't trickled in.
oh, there's a loophole. It's kind of like the company I work for now.
Please explain the loophole.
We're not any type of native, but we own all the machines in the casino.
Oh yeah,
Every last machine.
because the
We
casino's
pay
not
all
allowed
the
to own it.
jackpots. Own it.
Yeah, the casino's not allowed to own it.
Yeah.
Technically, the
They can only
casino's
own the
not allowed to
building.
own anything in it.
Yeah. They only own the building.
Correct. Because that's the only way they get federal grants.
Everything else belongs to
Correct.
us. Everything else belongs to our company out.
In that way, yes. But if we can talk real numbers here for a second, the old money in Texas is way more.
But that's what we're talking about. Most of your Texas old money is right here in Oklahoma.
How so?
So
I didn't see it when I was there.
That's the beauty of it. All that oil money, right here in Oklahoma.
Where?
Go out past Boca Chico.
Let me rephrase that. In what?
What do you mean?
Are they reinvesting it or are they sitting on it?
No, they own all the property down there in Texas and the mineral rights to everything that you're drilling oil from. They have houses in Texas too, but majority of their houses are here.
So are they?
And
But what's weird is, hold on. So Oklahoma has a higher state tax, whereas Texas has nothing. You don't pay state tax.
Yeah, but they don't pay state taxes, but they also pay surcharges and everything else in Texas. That makes up for that. There's always
that's fair. Yeah,
that door screwing, and it's a lot cheaper for them to be residents in Oklahoma than it is for them to be residents.
Weird. I never saw it when I was there. I'll be honest. I never saw it.
Oh, neither did I.
Although,
I didn't know.
Aren't you guys having an issue right now with fracking because they're having so many goddamn earthquakes by you?
I mean that's always been the way in Oklahoma City, or there in the north.
But isn't it the fracking causing it?
Yeah, this is all the southeastern part of Oklahoma.
So all the shithole part?
Well, what we call the shithole part. Most of those houses are out there. Like, Hopetown is about to be the biggest spot in Oklahoma.
What?
Hopetown.
Where the hell is that?
About to be the biggest. It's past Broken Bow.
Okay. So on the border of Arkansas?
That's where the cabins are at. Yeah. Like it'll look like Vegas when they're finished with it.
Really? So what?
Yeah.
So what sovereign nation are they putting it under?
Choctaw.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. So the ballparks down in Dallas and Arlington now, they're all named Choctaw.
I knew that, but I didn't think it had anything to do with Texas money. I thought that was Indian money. Because we both know it's not even Indian money; it's white people money.
That's the loophole. Now, on top of that, I didn't know number one school in NIL money.
Huh?
Who's the number one school in NIL money?
What the fuck are you asking me? I don't know what NIL money is.
Name and likeness.
Oh, I have no idea.
What they're able to pay their students now.
Is it Oklahoma?
Oh, no.
Who?
Nope. Texas.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Number one school.
That makes sense.
Three of the four top donors, Choctaw.
But they're not real Choctaw. We both know. We've seen the board. We've seen the fucking board. They're whiter than me.
Know. But they have enough Indian blood.
Jesus Christ. If Walking Tall was ever a real place, it's called Choctaw. It's called Durant.
Yeah. So here's the thing with the funny part about that, too. Guess who's coming in at a close second now?
Oklahoma?
Yep. Guess why?
Why?
Choctaw and Chickasaw.
Fuck me. But how can you prove that it's Texas money? How can you prove it's that way, not the other way around, where it's just the people at the top of Choctaw are spending their money and not Texas money feeding it?
Because that's the thing. The same people that are the Texas money are the same donors who are...
And then they get a write-off for it all, too.
And here's what's so crazy. This could be the reason why Nick Saban decided to retire.
Going to Texas?
No. Because he was like, Alabama, dealership money, can't compete with tech, casino, and oil money.
It can't compete with oil money. I mean, it absolutely makes sense that Texas is number one. That doesn't shock me at all.
Well, that's not even the bad thing. The biggest plant that's being built right now for the lithium mines that are coming out of Mexico, right here in Sherman.
Fuck you.
Right here in Durant. Nope. Right here in Sherman. Denison, Sherman.
Who's going to work them?
Who do you think's going to work them? Who's been working?
They're going to bust them up?
Bust them up. They live right down the road. What are you talking about?
That's true. You guys have a fucking problem down by you. That's fair.
So,
have you noticed that? Hey, with all the legal crossings, have you noticed any difference? Have you seen anything? Feel anything different? Has it touched you guys? Mm-hmm. I was curious.
It's been the same. No, it's been the same. What are you talking about? That was like 20 years ago. What are you talking about?
They're putting another factory in Sherman. Did they just put Apple there?
Yeah, but that's the thing. What do you need to make phones?
Yeah.
Or any type of computer stuff? Lithium. Where's the biggest lithium?
Shit, we might be moving back then. Shit, we might be coming back to try to get that money.
So it is going to be unreal.
Yeah, but the problem is, big guy, and this should scare you. Your price of living is going to go up, big time.
Oh, I know it is. But that's the thing. If you're not working a safety job as a lithium guy, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's fair.
You're talking about going from $160,000 a year safety job to sitting at least $260,000 to $300,000 to be a safety at one of these places, and they're going to be handing it out like candy. Like somebody we need.
That's crazy. Too bad I can't forge a safety license because I'm not going back to school.
It's not too hard.
Fuck that. I can't. We talked about this on the episode that didn't air. I can't listen to someone who I know I'm more intelligent than. I can't do it.
So do you want to hear something that's super crazy now too? On top of the safety bachelor's degree?
What's
that? They're talking about you don't have to have a bachelor's.
You just have to have experience.
No, it's just going to be kind of like how we did at the ammunition plant.
Oh, you get trained. You basically become like a.
So you take classes on the job, and they give you a certificate, and they were like, "Yeah, we're going to."
They probably have to. They probably have to because let's be real, the amount of educated people in your area isn't high, and the ones that are all on oil rigs already.
Well, that's the thing. It's not even educated. It's horrible because like just watching it from my perspective of going back to class,
they're fucking morons.
Just watching there were so many people who were smarter than the professors that we had, and I'm like, how did you get?
That's what I'm saying. I could never go back. I know I'd be smarter,
but they're not. But a lot of them aren't even from here. Like I had two that were from North Carolina.
Yeah,
never been to Oklahoma, and I was like,
it's probably the easiest fast track to get your safety license. Because it's not offered at a lot of colleges up north. Like, it's not a thing.
Not really.
It's not a thing.
Yeah.
Because I looked at it up here as far as, because up here, it just is a certificate program. It's not even a college requirement. But I'm like, you can't do anything with it. You can't make any real money with it. Up here.
Yeah. Most of the people that are just the certificate people right now are bringing home right around $90,000 a year, which isn't bad. For here,
not for here either. It will be bad once that all pops off. Can't believe they're putting another factory in Sherman. They almost need the fucking illegals because there's not enough workers there.
That's the issue. You're not going to have enough.
You're not going to have enough. Let's put it in real talk. You're not going to have enough actual people that want to work there. Because I remember Sherman, Denison, and Durant. All of them want to be on fucking welfare if they can. They're all okay living paycheck to paycheck.
But you got to think, none of these places look the same anymore.
Actually, that's not true because the other day, the show Easy, where we lived, is I watched some guy actually did a drive-through of all of Durant, and it was posted from December, and there was maybe 4 things different. Like you guys now have that walk-in clinic that used to be the bank right there on the corner by.
No, we're not talking about Durant.
Oh,
see, that's the thing. Like.
Durant still looks like shit.
I can do a video for you from where the bypass is now, which wasn't there whenever you guys were.
Yes, it was. They just finished it.
Oh, they were just doing
that.
Okay. That doesn't look anything the same anymore. You have
the towers. I saw them when I came back for the funeral. They were building them.
No, I'm talking about like the the hospital that's out there now, the clinic,
There's a hospital out there now?
Yeah, like that's all
Jesus.
different.
That farmer must have made a shit ton of money. They annexed it all?
He died.
Seriously?
His kids made a lot of money though.
Because he owned all that.
Probably not what he would have made if he would have just accepted the offer. But his kids were like, I'm not moving back to Durant ever. We're not doing that.
I mean, that farm basically sat empty for years. I mean, those rolled bales were there from the time I moved there to the time I left. They never moved.
Mm-hmm. All that gone.
That's crazy.
All that gone. So like, it's a different world now.
That's crazy.
And I'm just saying that just from pretty much, I think within the next 5 years, it's going to be we're going to be a suburb of Dallas. Well,
that's crazy to think because from what I understand, you can correct me if I'm wrong, McKinney's poorer now than it was when I lived down there.
They just built a $5 million or $5.
But I mean the town. I don't mean the fucking.
Oh, no. Like way bigger.
Really?
Way bigger. Yeah.
What's paying for all this shit? It's not like all these people make a shit ton of money.
Lithium deposits, mineral rights.
Jesus. I would buy a house and pray to God I was sitting on a goddamn lithium.
Here's the thing. You can buy any house you want now. Majority of these places, anywhere you buy, the mineral rights are already sold to whoever.
Jesus.
You can
buy
your land, whatever. Off. Well, they won't kick you off. They're just going to be like, hey, we're going to come and mine these mineral rights. We're going to give you 2% of what we get.
Which is still a lot.
And it's a lot. So you're going to be like, yeah, I don't care. But if you can find a piece of land and that owns all the mineral rights,
that no one's talking about. Like everyone wants to talk about how I know this is way over time and we probably need to wrap this up, but real talk, he's not doing the electric cars to save the world or save resources. Because to mine lithium or cobalt is way fucking worse than burning fossil fuels.
Yeah.
Way worse.
10 times worse. 10 times worse. But you don't really have to do that much whenever right there, Ecuador, all the lithium.
And nobody's talking about how it's not here to really save anything. It's ruining the environment. But we don't give a fuck because it's over there.
Yeah. It doesn't really matter because it's kind of like if you said Coke was bad for you.
Yeah.
Like the drink Coke.
Well, the other Coke is supposed to be bad for you, but if you can get the real shit still, I'm in.
But if you're sitting here saying, well, we found Pepsi, it'll work. And so now people stop drinking Coke, they go to Pepsi, but Pepsi's bad, but in a different way. It's no different than the vaping tobacco thing. It's no different than...
You know what's crazy to think? That it's harder now to find pure, non-tainted cocaine than it is to find...
Is it?
Oh, man. It's all fucking laced with shit now. Bro, for real. At least when it gets up to here. Maybe down by you it's more pure, but up by us, it's got fentanyl in it every time.
Oh, well, that's because fentanyl's so cheap.
Correct.
And that's going to be the issue. Let's say if you're from Colombia and you can get 100% pure.
Oh, I'm in.
Bam.
I'm fucking in.
But here's the issue.
How do you get it back?
If you sold all that 100%,
you don't make shit.
You're going to make this. Yeah. You're going to make this much money. You're going to make a lot of money. But if let's say that you have that 100% still now, but you have another 100% of fentanyl, and you know that you can lace this and
do the same shit for less money. Yeah. Supply and demand, basic microeconomics. I get you. Fentanyl scares the shit out of me. Cocaine doesn't.
Yeah, but okay. I have a question about fentanyl. Even though we probably shouldn't be talking about this on the podcast, but
I've had fentanyl in my body because the doctor just said give him fentanyl.
Yeah. So you watch like some videos where a cop like opens up a car and like immediately ODs. Like opens somebody's bag and they just get a whiff of it.
Yeah.
And they OD and somebody has to run up and hit them with Norcan right there on the spot to save their life and all that stuff. But I'm like, but Joey has been sitting in this car the entire time with his bag, carrying it around, opening it up, so on stuff. How come this dude ain't OD'd yet?
Joey's got tolerance, baby. Joey's been doing fentanyl for years.
Apparently so.
I do think you do, just like anything else, you gain a tolerance to it. Yeah, because when I ended up in the ER last year, they loaded my ass up with fentanyl, Demerol, and Dilaudid all at once. I was fucking gone. The next day was awful. I was puking my brains out because I was coming off all that shit. Yeah. They don't talk about that either, how it fucks your whole system up.
Yeah. Well,
all right. Well, I guess we should wrap this up. This is a long one for everybody, but
I think what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to break this one down, but it'll be fine.
I'll let the editor break it into 2 episodes.
But I'll probably do a to be continued.
Yeah, that's fine, and then just pop into the next one. That works. Well, anyways, this has been the Random Shit Talk podcast. I'm Eric.
I'm Myric.
And appreciate your time, guys. Have a good one.
All right.